Hello, everybody. Welcome to LettermenRow.com. I am Jeremy Birmingham. This is Birminology. Today, we are talking to Ohio State 2023 wide receiver target Rico Flores from Folsom, California, a four-star receiver and a player that Brian Hartline and the Buckeyes have really picked up interest in recent weeks. And I thought it'd be a good time to get Rico on the show and get him introduced to you Buckeyes fans out there everywhere. So let's get Rico on the show and let's get to it. As promised, Rico Flores is with us now. Rico is one of the country's highest-ranked wide receiver prospects, and yet a guy that Ohio State fans don't know a whole lot about. You're out there in California, Rico, and the last couple months, things have really picked up with you and the Buckeyes. I mean, what's really precipitated that, pickup of interest on your part?
I feel like my interest in Ohio State been high since I was young because they produce a lot and they're a very good team. They got a great background, and when I got the offer, I was super excited because I'm like, dang, they finally offered me. So now it's just like a dream, come true, because I've always wanted an offer from Ohio State, and then they finally reached out and gave me one. And now, the connection and bonds with the whole staff is just keep growing, and it's a great bond from with each coach I talk to.
I think a lot of people assume that because you're a wide receiver that you're only talking to Brian Hartline, but you said that, it's the entire staff. You're hearing from Ryan Day. You're hearing from Brian Hartline. Kevin Wilson, I think, probably is involved in there as well because of your connection with Walker Lyons, a four-star tight end at your high school. Is it unusual for these staffs to be approaching you with so many people, or is that kind of what most people are trying to do?
I would say that's majority of the schools that's in my top right now do. A lot of even running back coaches, receiver coaches, quarterback, the offensive coordinator, they all text me and stuff. So it's just I wouldn't say it's unusual, but it's been happening a lot lately.
Now, for you, you're a guy that's generally speaking in the top 25 of the wide receivers in the country. You only played 6 games as a sophomore because of the COVID-19 stuff out in California. You guys got limited a little bit more than other places. Do you think that has slowed down your recruitment a little bit, and that these last couple of weeks and months you've finally started to see it accelerate again?
No, not at all. Because in the 6 months, the 6 games, that I feel like that helped even more because it's shows, oh, he did this in 6 games. Just imagine what he would do in the full season. And I got that opportunity in my junior year to prove a little bit more, and hopefully the senior season just keep proving everybody, all the doubters and people that's questioning, just keep proving them wrong and show them.
One of Ohio State's all-time great wide receivers is from California, a guy that a lot of people didn't know a lot about in high school, Chris Olave, who just finished up his career as the all-time leader in touchdowns at Ohio State as far as receivers goes. When you see a guy like that from California leave the state and go, far away, 3,000 miles away, and have the success he did, does it make it easier for you to envision that sort of path for yourself?
Yeah, I feel like that has a part in it too, because it's he's from same state. He's not that far from where I am, probably 6 hours maybe, or 5 hours. So it's and they're one of the highest receivers that came out of Ohio State. So it's if he could do it, why can't I do it? Because usually
Go ahead, sorry.
My bad. Yeah. Usually at some colleges, it's predominantly from that area that their players are doing good. It's not really a lot of California kids that go out of the Pac-12 and do good at the other places, or they even take their opportunity and chances because it was I feel like a lot of Cali kids would think, oh, that school doesn't really because of how much people are from that area that go to that college.
Yeah, for you, as you watch this, you start. I think we're breaking up a little bit here.
I can hear you.
Okay. Your video is a little frozen. No big deal. So we'll go back to that. This is the power of the internet, folks. We're trying to do this stuff, and bring it to you live and in action. So, Rico, as you start to look ahead at these next few months, it's kind of pivotal, right? You've narrowed your top schools down to 7 or 8 schools that you're really looking at. You've never been to Columbus. You've never been to Ohio State. How important is it for you to make that trip soon?
It's gonna be really important, especially like with my decision in if I want to end up committing to that college. So I feel like my visit it's gonna be happening soon. We're trying to get everything in details and put together the plans for all the next visits, like because you only get 5 officials. So I'm trying to put all that stuff together here soon, and then in a few weeks, like 2 or 1, or next week or 2 weeks from that, I'm gonna come out with a top 5. That's gonna be my final 5.
Walker, your teammate Walker Lyons, a 4-star tight end at Folsom High School, has been to Ohio State. What type of insight has he given you about his visit to Columbus last summer? And is it something that helps make it easier for you to envision what it would be like?
Yeah, he says it's real cool. Everybody there is cool. Everybody's like cool person. There's no like, how do I say it? We like not weird, but like not like they don't get them off the right persona. Everybody gives off a good persona of themselves, and he just said you'll like it there. And then that's what he told me.
Brian Hartline, obviously his reputation right now is as good as any coach in the country from what he's doing as a recruiter, what he's doing as a developer of players. You see, we already talked about Chris Olave, but then you have Garrett Wilson and Jackson Smith and Jigba, and years before that, Terry McLaurin and all these other guys. What is he like for you as you get to know him as a coach, and not just really as a coach, but is that personality with him something that you really feel a good vibe with?
Yeah, with Coach Hartline, I feel like there's a good relationship and vibe with him. He's a real cool
dude. What is it that you're looking for in a coach? All these coaches are coming at you with their best attitude, right? They all are professionals at their job. I mean, how do you separate between who's selling you on something and who's actually being genuine?
That's a hard part for sure. I just listen, and then sometimes I'll ask them the question twice. Like I asked them one time, and then probably in a few months I'll ask them the same question just to see if their script changes up a little bit, and just that's how I go off. And then like some people you could tell who's genuine. Like that's just who I am. Like off the bat, I could read through a lot of people, so I could tell like if they're being genuine or if they're just telling fibs and telling the same thing to each recruit that they want to come play.
Yeah, I mean, for guys out in California like yourself, as you mentioned, it is hard for people to envision leaving the West Coast. Look around you, all that sunshine. It's 90-some degrees out there today. The Bengals are about to win the Super Bowl out there. What is it about you as a person that has to be different to be willing to leave California and go to Texas, go to Ohio, go wherever? You're looking at a lot of the biggest schools around the country. Does it require a different mindset, do you think? And if so, where does that mindset come from?
Yeah, it requires a different mindset for sure. And my mindset comes from my mom. I feel like ever since I was little, she just always told me, like, you got to go where the best thing is for you and don't stay, like, how do I say? She always told me, don't know, even if I'm going to different football teams, being young, because I transferred from my freshman year I ended up going to Folsom because the first half I was going Capital. She's like, these people don't know you from a can of paint. You got to show them who you are. And I feel like she just engraved that in me ever since I was little. So that's where it comes from. And then also you just can't be scared to take a chance. You got to always bet on yourself.
As you start to look ahead here, what are the 2 or 3 things in your recruitment that are going to be the most important for you? Obviously, there's always the generic things, right? There's playing time. There's the opportunity for the NFL. But I mean, what's Rico Flores actually need a coach and a program to have to make sure that it's one that's real for you?
I want somewhere where I could feel like at home without being at home. Like I want to make sure I'm comfortable. The people around me are cool people. They get me, they get my background, and just somewhere where I feel welcome, very welcomed at. And then also, like, besides like, for air football, I want to start, like, my plan, my objective, my goal is to start as a freshman and not have to redshirt. That's my plan. But hopefully that comes true. But the main thing is just to feel welcome and feel wanted. Not feel like, how do I say it? Like, not just feel like I'm just there,
Not just another dude.
Say that again?
So you're not just there as another dude. You're the dude.
Yeah.
When you look at a place like Ohio State, obviously the recruiting room, the receiver room is pretty deep. How does Brian Hartline address that with you and say, hey, your opportunity is here if you can take it? I mean, or is it something different?
He just says you got to be a guy that's willing to work. Basically, that's how to sum it up. That's really what he says. Just got to work every day, day in and day out.
We talked a few weeks ago, and you said that your hope was to kind of narrow things down by the end of the spring and maybe make a decision by the end of the summer. Is that still your plan, or has the recruiting world opened up so much that you're starting to see like, hey, maybe I need to wait?
No, that's the same plan. Just commit around June or July. That's been the same plan.
Rico, are there any players around the country that you've gotten to know? I mean, obviously you're out on the West Coast, but have you gotten to talk to other kids around the country about other college experiences or their thoughts on schools?
Yeah, recently I talked to Malachi Nelson about it. That's committed to USC. I've talked to Zachariah Branch. Who else
also committed to USC. This seems like a USC thing.
I was talking to him before they committed to USC. Clark. Talked to Clark that just committed to Louisville.
With a kid like Zachariah, obviously it's pretty unique. He was this close to being committed to Ohio State himself about 2 months ago. He's been there multiple times. How much can you really learn about Ohio State from talking to other kids?
He's doing. Say that again. Can you repeat it?
With Zachariah, he was almost committed to Ohio State about 2 months ago. How much can you learn about Ohio State from talking to other kids? I mean, do you get a sense that they can almost give you more insight than coaches can?
Yeah, I feel like that personally. I feel like that's really a good question to ask the people besides coaches, because they're going to tell you. I mean, like, coaches, that's their job to tell you, like, are you good and stuff like that. So, like, if you hear from players, they're going to tell you the real.
Well,
that's a good question to ask, like, certain people.
It's certainly an interesting world. You guys are in such a unique position in the recruiting now because of social media, because of the opportunity to see each other at all these 7-on-7 camps and everywhere else. That you have much more knowledge than kids did 20 years ago, and it leads to some very interesting recruitment. So thank you, Rico, for taking time. It is Super Bowl Sunday. We're doing this. Like I said, I know you're busy. We're all busy, and we appreciate you taking time to join us on Lettermen Row.
No doubt. Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. We'll be in touch. Thanks a lot.
Okay, for sure.
That's Rico Flores. I'm Jeremy Birmingham. This has been Bermanology on Lettermen Row. Thanks for watching.